Maybe one follow-on question. I mean, the attention it often does get is negative, and I think both you and your remarks, and in October we had Senator Levin here also making remarks highlighting, again, the tremendous gains that have been made in Afghanistan. And as someone who worked there in the 1980s and 1990s, I can personally attest that it's, to me, remarkable what has been achieved since 2001. But I think in part because for the media in particular, good news is not news. That doesn't often get communicated here. And also lots of things haven't gone quite as well as we had hoped, and there are serious problems that need to be addressed. But what do you think could be done or needs to be done to try to, again, inform the American people about the successes that have been achieved, and also the need, as you highlighted, to remain engaged and continue our, I think, robust levels of assistance so that we don't lose those gains?
Well, Andrew, part of the problem is just the nature of the media. I mean, the house that doesn't burn doesn't get covered. The plane that lands safely doesn't get covered as well. It's easier to focus on bad news, and that generates news, rather than on slow, steady progress, particularly when it's overseas. Most Americans, the Arkansans I serve, experience what we call domestic policy every single day. They pay their taxes, they pay for gas at the pump, they pay their health insurance premiums, they go see their doctor, they get their kids' homework assignment at night. They don't need elected leaders to explain to them what's happening in their day-to-day lives because they're living it. That's simply not the case in most foreign policy and national security policy. Most Americans don't spend extended periods of time overseas. Even for many of you who have, it's a big wide world out there, and not everyone can go everywhere and experience everything. So as elected leaders, one thing that we have to do, and it's important that the President do this because he has a singular voice in our system of government on national security matters, is to simply explain what has happened. Acknowledge some of the setbacks and some of the slow and frustrating progress, but explain the gains that we have made. And this is something I would encourage the President to do more. Given the deterioration of conditions around the world, there's a lot of good news stories to be told in Afghanistan, and it's directly related to our core national security interests, since it still is the one place where we have defeated al-Qaeda and expelled it, and it hasn't returned. And it's the reason why we started what's now become a 14-year war against Islamic terror in the first place.